Good morning, this is Sarah, your healthy carnivore in the UK, and I woke up this morning and realised I was on day 120 of strict carnivore diet, my last ever restart. This is 120 days of 365-day challenge, which I'm going to smash because I'm never going back, and tomorrow's video is going to talk about that. But how did I get here? How did I get to 120 days when I'd struggled for so many years to commit? This is the video for the strugglers. This is the video that for the people that know that carnivore is great, but they just can't get past day 30. They can't get past day 60. Here are my tips. There's not that many of these tips, but they are super important, and I'm not going to talk about them for too long. But I haven't planned this, so I'm just going to go with one of the most powerful first and then take it from there, right? What is your why? Why are you doing this? How did you get here? Why did you land here? What are you doing this for? Because if you don't know, you're unlikely to get to 120 days. You need to know your why. Why are you here? Is it a serious health problem or just lots of small health niggles? Is it because you don't want to end up like a particular relative who had lots and lots of health problems and you don't want to go down the same path as them? Is it because you want to see your children grow up? Is it because you're really hoping secretly to see your grandchildren grow up all the way to adults, and not just watch them become adults, but interact with them, go on holiday with them, lift them up so they can put the star at the top of the Christmas tree? What is your why? Because you need one. We don't do carnivore just for fun. It can be fun for the people that whose health problems go away in 30 days and they've lost £100 by the time they get to 90 days. That can be fun. That's quite a fun aspect. But in general, we are not doing carnivore for the fun of it. We're doing it because we tried everything else, because we hit rock bottom, because nothing else made us feel like carnivore does. And we have watched content after content after content of people healing things, reversing things, preventing things. And we've thought to ourselves, I want some of that. I don't want to walk around with my fingers crossed for the rest of my life. I want to proactively do something that's going to improve my life, even if it means making one hell of a load of sacrifices to get there. What is your why? If your why is just to lose £10 for a bikini next month, you're not going to get to 120 days. It needs to be strong. Think about your why. Write it down. Next step. You're going to want to measure something. You're going to want to track something. Now, for me personally, what I recommend and what has worked for me when everything else didn't seem to work was counting my days. I use an app counter that does my days. What is brilliant about that is it's reliably consistent. It's not going to let you down like the bathroom scale might. Okay? An app counter. Every time you manage to do a whole day full of meat, you will be rewarded the next morning with, yippee, you've done another day, and another day, and another day. And it's going to count up no matter what. Unlike the bathroom scales, which for many people can be, you can have a... There are lots of people that go on carnivore and lose a ton of weight overnight, bang, done. For many of us, we have a lot of healing to do. For many of us, in the first 60 days, we're only really losing inflammation. The actual chemistry required to get that fat out of the body doesn't tend to kick in for most people until 90 days, and you can have fluctuations, ups and downs. You might be one of those unlucky people that don't lose weight until you've done it for a whole year. Probably not, but you might be. So get those bathroom scales out would be my advice, and then they can't annoy you. Choose something reliable. If you are someone who doesn't really lose weight on the scales, but you do know that you lose inches, by all means use the tape measure if you want to. But for me personally, that didn't really work either. So I had to choose something to measure myself by, measure my success by, that was going to be reliable. I knew that all I had to do was wake up every day, breathe in and out all day, eat meat all day, drink water all day, and then the next day, my day is another one, and another one. Day 31, day 62, day 85. And it's a reliable source of information that will not let you down. It's consistent. Next tip, eat meat like it is your job. It is your job. You're going to do it like you are the boss of you. You are in control of you. And because you're not weighing yourself, you're not going to be worried about what effect that eating of meat is going to have on your weight or your measurements. This is why I recommend counting the days, because your job is to kill your carb addiction, your sugar addiction. And you're only going to do that if you commit to eating fatty meat every time you feel hungry or a craving or you feel tired. In the beginning, your body thinks it's starving itself because it hasn't learned how to tap into your fat stores yet. So you may need to consistently give it fat throughout the day. So I was going to go on to another tip then, but I'm going to finish this one. Your job is just to eat your meat and kill that sugar and carb addiction. Once you get to day 60 or 90 or 120 or 150, then you can perhaps think about tweaking if you want to. But the first 120 days is not about tweaking. It's about being a carnivore, killing those addictions, becoming a fat burner, and healing your body. And that leads me on nicely to the next point. Don't tweak, micromanage. In that 120 days, don't count calories, don't count fat grams, don't count protein grams. I would advise not doing any fasting that's deliberate. I'm not saying don't do any intermittent fasting. I'm just saying don't do anything that's deliberate. If you are hungry in the morning, get that meat in. If you are hungry for 4 hours after that, get the meat in. Intermittent fasting is a very useful tool, but it tends to come on much, much later when the body is healed, it's fat adapted, and it's raring to go, and it knows what it's doing, and you've trained your fat cells to release fat for energy, and your chemistry has changed. So don't force anything. Definitely don't watch any videos online that talk about how to speed up your weight loss, how to tweak, how to get off a weight plateau. In the first 120 days, it's pretty much the same as the first 30 days, in that you are, as I said, killing your sugar addiction and carb addiction. That is all your job. That is the job. If you are someone who's decided, like me, that you want to be carnivore for the rest of your life and be like Kelly Hogan and Coach Lisa and Lisa Wiedemann and all the others, and if you're a man, you've dreamt about being like Kerry and Sean Baker and Anthony Chafee. How did they get there? They didn't do messing around in the first few months. They just ate their meat, got on with their day, okay? This is not the time to be worried about how much you're eating and what you weigh. It's not the time. A time for tweaking is way off into the distance once your body is healed and done. In particular, if you do have a body that is really in need of some serious hormonal healing, it just wants you to get the right nutrition in, get the fat in, get the animal proteins and fats in. And that is your job. That is it. That's all you have to do. No tweaking. And really, I think it might be also helpful to journal the little health benefits. I know Lisa Wiedemann has talked about this, but I have a big long list. I haven't got it in the car right now because I used it in an interview yesterday that I had with Dave Mack from No Carb Life. But I have a big long list of small non-scale victories, and some of them are big non-scale victories. Everything that happens to you, write it down. And then if you're getting to a point where you quit, you think, hang on a minute, I don't have brain fog anymore. I don't have pain in my feet anymore. My psoriasis seems to have cleared up. My gastritis seems to have cleared up. My guts seem to be working a lot better. My anxiety seems to have calmed down. I've been checking my blood sugars. They're coming down. All of these things need to be documented. I wouldn't worry too much about target weights, photographs. Though I do recommend, though, if you are just beginning, do take some of those horrible photos. Do take them and then store them away somewhere where you can't see them. I have taken some absolute shockers of myself, and they've been put away for in the future, because I know that if I keep going with carnivore, I will eventually lose the weight. I know that. I'm planning to do this for the rest of my life. So that's 40, 50 years, right? You can't tell me that a 40, 50 year carnivore isn't going to lose weight. It's not something I need to worry about right now. My most important thing is to stay off the sweeteners, stay off the seed oils, and get yourself really revved up for Christmas, which is just round the corner now. And to be, you can see I'm looking around. It's just around the corner now. Okay? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Make sure you are in a place where saying no to those treats is easy. You may need to cancel 1 or 2 of your social events. And this leads me on to the next thing. What are you prepared to sacrifice? I'm going to keep this on because it's important. I turned down my Christmas work due. It's a new school where I don't really know anyone, and I could probably have done with going out and socializing with them and drinking and having a jiggle. You know what I mean? I love a party. But I've decided to not go for my health. You may find that you have to make some sacrifices that may hurt for your health. And what are you prepared to do? This Christmas, I'm going to have to put a lot of the treat food away in a cupboard somewhere. My eldest son is keto. My husband is very savoury tooth, but my youngest son is still a sugar addict. He knows all about carnivore. He's done a lot of my filming and editing for me. He knows all about it. He's very young to find out about it, so I'm not worried about him. He's got a 6-pack. He's good. He eats a lot of meat. I'm not panicking, but he's going to want some sweet treats, and they're going to have to be put away. Are you willing to turn down one of the events that you're going to, or are you willing to absolutely stuff yourself silly with meat before you get there, so that when you get there, nothing is tempting because you're so full? This morning I had steak and bacon and egg for breakfast. It's a bit of a challenge getting it down. Our house is very chaotic in the morning. It's like the opening scene from Home Alone, and it's really chaotic me getting this food in, and it's sometimes a bit of a struggle, but I know now that I'm safe. I'm safe. I work in a school where a sweet treat could turn up at any time. A couple of weeks ago, one of the parents brought in a sweet treat, like chocolate brownies they'd made themselves. I was able to say, I don't want that, because I was full. I am not going to leave my house hungry. I know that if I did that every single day for 3 weeks, the hunger would gradually subside, but what car crash incidents are going to happen in that 3 weeks, especially the next 3 weeks? Treats are going to be coming in. Secret Santa's happening. I thought there was a bell on there, but there isn't. But, so there are I think that's it. If I think of anything else, I'll pop it in later and add it on at the end. But I think they're my favourite tips. Get yourself a why. Track something, but I prefer to track days because it's more reliable and you can't go wrong. You won't be disappointed because the next day is done. You see what I mean? You get on the scales and you get a maintain or a gain. That's disappointing. But if you just track the days, you won't be let down. It's a reliable, consistent method of success. Write down your non-scale victories. Eat meat like it's a boss. Preferably get rid of the scales. If you're somebody who you know reliably loses weight no matter what you do, weigh yourself. If that makes you happy, do so. But if you are, I'm not saying this is just women, this is men as well, but if you're a female between the ages of 40 and 60 who has been on diet after diet after diet, and you know that your metabolism and hormones are a bit out of whack, and you're one of those people that say, I can't lose weight no matter what I do, put the scales away. 60 days minimum. Count your days, eat your meat, and try and find some other hobbies. You will find you're going to have to start some new hobbies. For me, the best way for me to get through this is to start this channel, because it does free up a lot of time. If you're someone that doesn't have a lot going on in your life, take all that eating away and you've got a big void. So you're going to have to fill that with something. And for me, sitting in the car, doing videos, editing them, planning them, creating thumbnails, uploading them, and then reading the comments, it fills that little void where I may have been eating because I was bored. You know, find whatever it takes. Make a sacrifice if you need to. But if that why isn't there, it's not going to happen. This is my longest, cleanest ever committed, resolved, invested stretch. I am absolutely delighted. If you're someone watching this trying to get inspired and you can't get to day 30, 60, 90 or 120, all I can say is I feel it's not just a want to do it. My whole body wants to do it. I can't even explain to you how different I feel from the first 30 days to these last 30 days. In that first 30 days, there was the cravings, the tiredness, the struggles, you know, and then if you do have something go wrong in your day, a much higher chance of throwing in the towel. But between, you know, 90 and 120 days, no chance of throwing in the towel. No matter what anyone throws at me, no matter how irritated I get, I'm not throwing in the towel. I have no excessive hunger. I certainly don't have any tiredness. And my body chemistry is clearly clicking into place because it really doesn't want me to go back. I would like to sing to you with one of my paper trumpets, but I can't find one at the moment. Nope, definitely can't find a paper trumpet. So I'm just going to have to do it without one. Happy 120 days anniversary to Carnivore, to Sarah, to me. Happy 120 days Carnivore to Sarah, to me. Happy 100, this is getting harder to say. Happy 120 days Carnivore to Sarah, to me. When you get over 100 days, it's more effort. And happy 120 days Carnivore to Sarah, to me. And believe me, if I can do it, I think most people can probably have a go. Don't think any further forward than 30 days. And if you struggle to get to 10 days, don't think any further forward than 10 days. Just eat your meat, drink the water, and do your best to thrive. And if it's not your time, it's not your time. I found this in 2014, and it just wasn't my time. And then the switch went off. Bang. And then it was my time. Whatever you do, have an amazing day today. If you do get any sun, enjoy it. If you get any meat, eat it. And if you've got any water, drink it. And doing your best looks different every day. I hope you've enjoyed this 120-day video. Now I'm going to watch it back and see if any of it made any sense. And just thrive. Thank you so much for listening. Take care. Bye.